Okay, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be changing the spark plugs on this 2004 Toyota Sienna. If you followed my previous video, getting a 0305 misfire code, this is my second step into solving my misfire issue. I ordered the parts. I got myself some 6 spark plugs, some dielectric grease. I've got some anti-seize. May not need, but I'll put a dab on there. I got myself a gasket for the intake plenum. I'm going to remove the battery negative 12mm socket and put it off to the side. 14mm socket for your wiper blades, and they pull right up off out of here. Come on. All right, unclip the bottom clips on the bottom side here, and then this lifts right off. 10mm socket to remove the wiper motor bolts. Disconnect the connector. Connect this connector. In previous video, all right, with those disconnected, I'm just going to fish these wires through here and just lay it off to the side. Now we can grab our motor and just kind of lay it off to the side. So now there are a series of screws where it takes a 10mm socket and remove this pan. All right, so I think there were like 7 screws, and just finagle this thing out of here like that. Use your Allen wrenches, loosen these 3 screws for this top cover, and after those are loose, go ahead and remove this and place it off to the side. My next step is I'm going to remove this air intake all the way back to here. All right, and just go ahead and place this off to the side. So you can see we're getting there. We can access the first 3 spark plugs. The rear 3 spark plugs are behind this intake plenum. Next step, it looks like I'm gonna have to take some hoses, 3 more hoses off the side of this throttle body. And then it looks like I need to electrically disconnect the throttle body. The hoses can be pretty brittle. This one appears to be pretty brittle, but it came off okay for me. These 2, this one and that one on the bottom are coolant. I'm gonna take this off and see if I can't fold it forward. There's a nut right here that'll take a 10mm socket, and a nut right here which will take a 10mm socket. All right, and yeah, just like I thought, this will fold forward nicely. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and replace these front 3 spark plugs. If you notice, if you look real close, you can see these connectors to my coil packs. They are broken. I will have a different video to where I'm going to replace these connectors, but we won't do that on this video. And remove the connector from the coil pack. Remove the bolt holding the coil pack on. So if you saw my previous video, you know that I have replaced that number 5 coil pack back there, so we know it's not the coil pack that's giving me my misfire. That's why I'm doing the spark plugs at this point in time. And let's pull this coil pack up out of there. We're gonna do these one at a time. So the socket I am using is actually a spark plug socket. It has a little rubber boot inside, and it actually cups around the spark plug and holds it. This particular size is a 5/8, and I'm using a 6-inch extension on a 3/8-inch drive. We'll get these easy ones done in the front here. And just like that. Get the new spark plug, remove the cover. I'm just gonna put a dab of anti-seize on the threads. Go ahead and stick it into the socket and insert it. I bought some dielectric grease, and I'm gonna put a little bit of dielectric grease in the end of the coil pack. And I'm going to insert it onto the new spark plug, just like that. All right, first one done. Now I'm gonna do the same to the other two. All right, so the front 3 plugs are replaced. I'm gonna flip this forward, and we're gonna get to the rear 3. Please notice that we have new connectors here for my coil packs, and that is another video that I'll have attached to the end of this video. So this vacuum line I will remove, and then I'm going to take this and just kind of fold it forward, and hopefully that gives me enough room. I will also remove this vacuum line. Come on. Okay. Since we want to take this plenum off, we have these bolts we need to remove. So I'm using an 8mm hex key. Fits on the end of my 3/8" ratchet to loosen these. 8mm fits the best, and it seems to hold pretty well, so I was able to loosen them. So there are 3, 1, 2, 3 in the front, and then there's a 4th one here in the middle. I'm going to use my 6" extension. And I put them all off to the side with their washers. Get your 14mm socket and get this nut and this nut off. All right, with those 2 nuts removed, now we can take this rail and place it off to the side. All right, so we have the front ones removed and the center one here, but there appear to be 3 on the back side. There's a metal bar that goes up to the back side of this plenum, and then there's another metal bar that kind of goes up to the other side of this throttle body. And I can stick my hand back here and I can feel where those bars go. And so right here, just behind this electrical box here, there's 1 bolt, and then a little bit farther back and a little bit farther up, so it's almost straight back from here. Feels like a 12mm socket, so I'm gonna see if I can't get my socket back there. All right, so I was able to get it loosened with my open and boxed in 12mm wrench. Now I have my 1/4" drive ratchet back here to finish it up. All right, so that's the first one. They're not very long. All right, so for the second one, I was actually able to use my 12mm socket, my 3/8" drive, and the way I had to get to it was I came underneath like this, and then over the top, I guided it on to the bolt head, and then I was able to break it free. This one just tight enough to where it's not finger loose. So now we're fairly loose, but there's one more in the back over there, I think. So let's go find it. Try your typical opened in, closed in wrench. All right, so this one is actually a 14mm. You'd need a 14mm wrench. You've got to get the closed end in on it. See it right there? Make sure you get the closed end in on it. Now we're just trying to break it free. Okay, we got lucky. So with the wrench like this, so that it's tilted like that and back there, you can loosen it up a 1/2 turn, get back in there, get another 1/2 turn on it, and now it's finger loose. So let me get both hands back there and get it loosened up. Okay, so I have it backed out as far as I can go. I think it's loosened up all the way now. Don't drop it. There it is. Oh, I got one more hose on top. Oh my goodness. All right, so I went ahead and stuffed some shop towels in here to keep any dirt or debris to get in there. You can see where the 3 spark plugs go, and you can see the new coil pack that I had replaced on the road. And that one, if you saw my video, was quite a joyride to get to without taking any of this off. All right, there are the spark plugs all replaced. That is that for the spark plugs. All 6 have been replaced. Now just put everything back together in reverse order. So if you're watching my video because of my previous video where I had the P0305 code on the road, so I have completed replacing all 6 spark plugs. I have also replaced all the coil pack wiring, successfully soldered them in place. Since I'm in here, and I would sure hate to put all this stuff back together and it end up being a fuel injector, what I'm going to do is I'm going to interchange this fuel injector with this fuel injector. So if I do have a fuel injector issue, my 0305 code will turn into a 0306 code, I'm hoping. All right, since I've already relieved the pressure in the fuel lines, I disconnected the connectors from the fuel injectors. All right, with a 10mm socket, take that, this, and this bolt out. Now there's a bolt right here, right here, and it looks like a 12mm. Now I'm hoping these will just pop right on up. And they did. So I'm gonna get a vacuum cleaner and I'm gonna suck up in here. So now I'm just going to carefully that's number 6. We do the same with number 5. Don't forget which one is which. I'm gonna take the number 5 fuel injector that I just took out and I'm going to put it into number 6 location. Before I do that, I will put a little bit of silicone lubricant on this O-ring here. So this one came off of number 5 originally, and I'm gonna reinsert it to number 6 location. Right. Now I'm gonna take the one that was in number 6 location, banking that this one is good, and I'm gonna put it in the number 5 position. All right. Now I'm gonna put this rail back in there. I wanted to cover this plenum on the bottom side. We have this gasket to replace it with a new one. So I'm just gonna take the old one off. I'm sure it would be perfectly fine to reuse this. And I'm gonna clean this surface off really good. And it just pushes right into place. And for the surface that it mates on, I'm just gonna clean it with some brake cleaner and make sure there's no dirt or anything on here. So on the back side of this plenum, when I pulled it off, and I didn't actually show it, there was a hose, a little 90-degree hose. It's cracked and brittle and broken. I went and ordered a new one. This hose goes to the PCV valve, the breather valve. So even though it still rattles a little bit, I bought a new PCV valve. All right, so there's the new PCV valve. Reinstalling this bolt back here took me 30 seconds. Then I went back over here. I mean, it's only finger tight. Then I went and installed the one behind the throttle body here. it's finger tight. And then I went ahead and installed the one over here in the top down below, and it's finger tight. So I'm gonna leave them finger tight, and I'm gonna bolt this down. And I'm gonna secure the bolts to this before I tighten those. All right, so I have these tightened down. 13 foot-pounds for these and 15 foot-pounds for the outer ones. This is the best I could find online because I didn't want to over tighten. This is the critical sealing portion of it, so I wanted to get this torqued down first before I tightened the back ones. All right, moment of truth. Everything is pretty much on. I've double checked all the vacuum lines, connected the battery back, the plenum's all in place. I'm gonna go start it up, see if the spark plugs helped. I also swapped fuel injectors from number 5 to number 6 in case it is a fuel injector. So the code's gone. Maybe it's my imagination, but it still feels a little bit shaky. So I'm gonna go take it for a test drive, see what happens. All right, well, the misfire code came back, but it would only come back when I accelerated down the road. As you can see, the light is not on right now. However, I hooked up my code reader, and look at that. It moved from cylinder number 5 to cylinder number 6. That means it's my fuel injector. Good thing I made that troubleshooting move. Stay tuned to my next video where I'll be replacing that fuel injector. So that is a wrap for the spark plug video and the troubleshooting, confirming that I do have a fuel injector problem now in the number 6 position. So that is a good position for me to access. If you like this video, go ahead and press that like button. If you like watching all of my other videos, go ahead and click that subscribe button. And I appreciate you tuning in, and I will catch you on the next video. Thank you.